Okay guys, you're welcome to the show. This is Shorts and Shorts on R2 TV. I'm Ilo with the flow, but this time around I'm just me. Okay, so you guys know how we do it on Shorts and Shorts. We bring marvelous directors here to grace this marvelous chair that I grace all the time, that I sit on all the time. And they talk to us about themselves, their short films, and they interact with us, we interact with them. So you'll be meeting another one of those marvelous directors, another very interesting personality. Now this guy, he's more on the quiet side, but then his creativity is loud. Yes, he's worked with people like Sexy Still, artists like Sexy Still. He directed the video for Ibebe Dialaja. And also he wrote the script for Wizkid's Oju Elegba video. Yeah, so he's doing pretty well for himself, and he'll be coming here to grace this marvelous director chair. He'll probably sit the exact way I'm sitting too. So you guys should stick around because he's coming up next after this.
My name is Yemi Morafa. I'm a filmmaker, and I guess that's all. Growing up, I grew up in a house of about 21 people. Well, so I kind of have different, I had like diverse, should I say, upbringing from different people because I was the youngest. So I kind of copied a couple of people and, modeled them growing up. So it's part of the reason I have this creativity thing, as a director. The industry is still growing and it's still being structured. So it's been, kind of difficult, but we're trying to find a balance, and we somehow find a balance in what we do because it's love and it's passion for what I do. So I've found a balance somehow, and we're still growing. So if you go to a film school, you basically start with short films, and that's how the orientation is. You start with short films, silent films, then you start with short films and you move on to feature films or whatever. I haven't directed a feature film. Well, I have, but it's for a film for TV, not for the big screen. But I worked on a couple of feature films, either as art director or creative director, just coming and going out. Well, short films are basically films that other filmmakers make for other filmmakers to see, what they're trying to achieve, or you might want to do some sort of animation, and you can put it only in a short film within that time space. So short films is really not commercial. It's just basically artistic and a little bit of avant-garde here and there. Just basically tell a story that you want to. Or if you want to shoot a feature, you have a short film of that same feature, send it to film festivals, and you might get a grant to shoot a feature film.
My name is Tulu Ajayi, and you're watching Shorts in Short.
byYemi is a more of film noir. Film noir started back in, if I can recall, 1946, where some French film critic, Nino Frank, I think, noticed the trend of how dark and gloomy Hollywood films that were released in French cinemas looked. It was basically trying to tell, at that era, I think it was the Cold War, at that era, so American filmmakers were using light and shade to tell stories of how the country was at that point in time. So byYemi was adopted from film noir and film noir type of lighting. It was an experiment. I was in Sokoto at that point in time. We went to shoot something for British American Tobacco, and I was bored, and I said, you know what, let's shoot something. So I came up with a script, You know, we had camera, we had lights, and we're like, okay, you know, we can do something. So I came up with a script, I came up with something experimental and started to shoot based on, you know, chiaroscuro, lighting, moods, shades. And it's basically a reflection of how I felt about Nigeria at that point in time, because we had politicians here and there. We used to hear ridiculous sums of money being, you know, spent, and I'm like, how can you actually have, you know, that kind of money? So it was basically how I felt about the nation at that point in time, when, you know, you couldn't trust anyone anymore. You know, corruption was, it was, I don't know, embedded into us. So everybody somehow is corrupt. And that's how the idea came. Like, you know what, it's a film noir, it's dark, it's gloomy. You know, we should try and get more from this country because it's a great country. So that's basically the story.
Senator has been arrested by the Anti-Corruption Agency for suspicion of stealing 40 billion. He's due in court later this month. In other news, the power holding company
We really didn't do a lot of pre-production because, hey, it was something that just came out of the blue. So it was about 3 hours, and we just had fun.
We're here in Sokoto. We're here to shoot a documentary, and we didn't actually plan for this. We're actually here to shoot a documentary, and next thing, Bishop, my director of photography, comes and says, "Let's do something." And I'm like, "Okay, what can we do?"
You know, it was 3 people. Bishop Cargo, Chef Uzoma played the character, and he handled the sound as well. Bishop handled the camera, and I just did directing. So it was pretty much a small crew, you know, for a small shoot. Well, the fact that we're in a hotel room, and we had, you know, people just, you know, barking at us from the other rooms, so, and we couldn't control sound. That's basically much what it was. You know, so we decided to make it the voiceover instead, and we recorded the sound later on in the studio. So I think it's really about the cinematographer. It's really about who's handling the camera. So whatever camera we used at that point in time didn't matter. It's always about who's handling the camera. So it didn't have to be a special camera. Just basically know your onion, know where to put your lights, you know your exposure, and basically, so it wasn't anything special. It wasn't something that was planned or scheduled. It was just improvisation. So it's a little bit more than fulfillment because I've sent it to film festivals. It's been picked for a couple of film festivals. So it's a little bit more than fulfillment because, you know, it came out good in the long run. I didn't know what to expect when I was shooting it anyway, because it was just, you know, like an afterthought. But it basically goes into the mind of an individual, of a particular man, and he's trying to understand why he's in a particular place. And I think we all, just like the studio here, you know, it's like some sort of particular lighting. It's mood light. So it basically makes you reflect on yourself and who you are and the people around you and the government and what you need to do to become who you want to be. So it's basically every human being can find himself in a situation where you're thinking of I, we, and they, like, you know, what is expected of, you know, people like us, what is expected of our generation, and that's basically what the story is about. So every individual can place themselves in that particular shoe.
name is Tolu Ajayi, and you're watching Short in Short.
Okay, that was Film Boy. Yes, that's his popular name. His real name, most people don't even know it. They're just, you call his name and they're like, I'm not so sure I know that director. And they're like, Film Boy. Oh, okay, yeah. Yes, and by the time you guys were talking to him, I was corrected. It's Bebedi Alaja. Yes, that's the correct pronunciation. So, moving on is his short film, I, We, and They. It's a very intriguing short film. It's quiet and loud at the same time. It's a combination of, it's like voices speaking in your head. It's the thought of every Nigerian, I think almost every Nigerian at the moment, how we see the Nigerian government or the Nigerian politics. It is from his perspective, but I know from what I watched it and from what I've taken from it, I think it talks to a lot of us and it's able to connect with a lot of us. So you guys would see the movie or the short film, I, We, and They, directed by Film Boy, and I'm pretty sure you guys would enjoy this. He used voiceover. He didn't, the actor didn't speak, so it was more like voiceover, like thoughts from a man's head. So you guys would see it, and I'm pretty sure you guys would enjoy it. So coming up next is I, We, and They. Enjoy this.
My name is Tolu Ajayi, and you're watching Short in Short.
I think I've lost my mind. Doc says it's in my head. Sorry, Doc. I think you've lost yours too. Where is it? Where can it be? I have to find it. Or maybe I never had one in the first place. That's why none of this makes sense. From darkness we were born into light. The concealed becomes revealed. And as kids, our parents try to direct our path towards the light. Until we discover our dark sides. We eat a little too much. And we still say life is hard. No pain, no pleasure. But we all have lost our minds. Haven't we? They feed us with all sorts of rubbish. And expect us to excel. They also try to curb our ways with religion. I don't know about you, but my only proof of God is somebody has to be responsible for all this. They tell us to be unique and think outside the box, when really there is no box. I think they need water immersion, or maybe catch a fire. In Sir Newton's color spectrum, white is the blend of all colors, and black the presence of none. So white and black are actually equal and parallel forces, acting in opposite directions. Without darkness, there is no light.
Senator has been arrested by the Anti-Corruption Agency for suspicion of stealing 40 billion. He's due in court later this month. In other news, the power holding company
Come on. And they say we have the power to change the future. Why they do nothing about the present? They must be out of their damn minds.
My name is Tolu Ajayi, and you're watching Short in Short.
Yeah, I'm working on a series of short films. It's called Series of Random Accidents. They're all, stories that are intertwined, interconnecting stories. I'm still working on that. It's gonna come out pretty soon. Feature length film, yes. I've been writing the script for 4 years, and I really don't know why I haven't finished it. But funds is very, very key. So I'm gonna take my time on that one. Well, I don't think most Nigerians, the majority, I don't think most Nigerians understand the concept of what a short film is. It's really not for commercial purposes. So if you have, a sponsor, or you have, it's not like making commercials. Commercials, you have a brand that you're trying to, portray. This one is the story you built from, maybe something happened, some experience, or you just felt like writing something, you felt like shooting. It's just for you to have a CV. You can't shoot a feature film immediately you leave film school because it's pretty expensive, but you can shoot short films within the space of a particular time. So it's just for you to build your CV and to let people know that I'm actually a filmmaker and this is what I do, this is what I shot. And that's basically it. On Twitter, my handle is, I think, Filmboy01. On Instagram is Filmboy the First. And Facebook it's Yemi Morafa. Hey guys, my name is Yemi Morafa. I'm also known as Filmboy. I'm a filmmaker. Keep watching Short in Short.
My name is Tolu Ajayi, and you're watching Short in Short.
Okay, guys, so that was We and They. I'm pretty sure you guys enjoyed that short film. I did. I can watch it over and over again because, as solemn as it is, it actually speaks a very strong message to us as Nigerians and to everyone who's actually involved or who pays close attention to politics. I'm not a big fan of politics, but then, at some point, you have to know about this. Yeah, because my senior producer will keep telling you, a presenter is always as good as what you know. So even you as a human being, you're only as good as what you know. Yeah, I'm telling you that now. So. Anyways, now you guys know Shots in Shots. We've taken our time to bring you these young directors and their short films. We've taken our time to expose them to you guys. So we want you guys to connect with us on our social media platforms. On Twitter, it's at R2_TV. On Facebook, it's my R2TV. Instagram is R2TV. We also have our mobile app. It is out. I think I'm like the loudest trumpeter of that thing. So our mobile app is out, and you can download it on the Google Play Store. You can download it on the Windows Store, and you can also download it on the BBM App Store. Just use the search term R2TV. TV. Talk to us on our social media platforms. Tell us what you think about Shots and Shots and the directors that have been coming so far on the show. Do you like them? Do you think they can improve in certain ways? You've seen their short films. What do you think about these short films? Now, we have an idea coming up for Shots and Shots. It's a game idea. We're still working on that, but I know it's going to come up soon and you guys would enjoy it. 2015 is going to be a good year. Anyways, guys, I got to go now. I will see you guys next time on the show. This has been Shots and Shots on R2 TV. I'm Illa with the Flow. See you guys next time.